Welcome, wonderful people of Go Mode Podcast, to a Link to the Past Randomizer Mentor Tournament Swiss Round 5. Tonight's game is GameCenterTC, who we'll be referring to as TC, mentored by Orange, and Andrew, mentored by a good friend of mine, JohnSnuu. My name is LucienGreeth. I am joined here in the commentary booth by Nugz. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing phenomenally well. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well. And on tracking tonight, we are joined by otherTom. We will be starting here in just a couple moments. Just waiting for get everything squared away with the restream.
It's all being set up by Bread, by the way, the wonderful Bread-kun. Getting things set up for us today.
Yeah, always good when someone steps up to the plate for restreams. It really means a lot to the people running this tournament.
I think everybody just helping out as much as they have been. You know, I don't think I've once seen a post where somebody's asked for help, whether it's as a mentee themselves or as somebody who wants to start volunteering or any of that kind of stuff. Anytime somebody asks for help, there's multiple people that step up and offer it. It's a pretty cool community in that sense. That being said, anybody who is looking to volunteer for this kind of stuff, or even just kind of get involved in the game, this is the place to go. We'll make sure the Discord is linked for everybody as well. But come hang out.
Yeah, to that point, I think this tournament really represents the best of this community.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of other gaming communities out there where they have a whole tournament made up of entirely volunteers dedicated to helping new players run the game with the help of people who run professionally, commentators, restreamers, trackers, that sort of thing.
Like in some communities, there's always that barrier of entry socially, right? Where you don't know who you can reach out to, who you can talk to, or whatever. You know, you post a question, you might get ignored or rejected or what have you. I've noticed in this community specifically, and most definitely within the Go Mode Podcast Discord, the opposite is true. You get pulled inwards. Like people they'll even offer extra stuff you didn't even think about to get you more involved and see if you're interested in all that kind of stuff, which has been phenomenally cool. Especially since I've only been, I guess, running the game we're doing Rando for like 2 months now, maybe a little less than that, and it just, I get sucked in by the people, right? It's been really cool in that sense.
Yeah, this is, like I said, I think it's the best of our community, the whole ALTTPR community at large.
And just out of curiosity, so like I've seen your name around a lot. We've never done comms together. We've never really chatted together, but you have a history with the mentor tournament as well, right? Because currently I'm a mentee. This is my first time playing the Rando version of this game whatsoever. I'm roughly like 2 months in. I am not having the greatest of starts, but I'm learning a ton. But what's your history with the mentor tournament?
I came in pretty similar level experience to you. I started running like maybe March of last year, participating in last year's mentor tournaments, made Tempered, lost to the eventual runner-up of the Tempered bracket in the first round last year, so ever since then, I've been around. I race usually once or twice a week. I like doing comms once or twice a week. It's a lot of fun.
Right on. So I know, like, the way this tournament works, it's 6 rounds of Swiss, and then in order to pair you up with somebody of equal skill as we get further along in the tournament. So in this specific case, we have both Andrew and TC are 2-2 playing each other. This should be a very close race. Usually later on in Swiss rounds, things get really narrowed down to like maybe minutes. Let's hope it's really tight the whole way through. It is, what's the mode today? It's open, not assured sword 7-7, right? Is what we have today?
Yep, just a good old-fashioned open 7-7. So 7 crystals get into Ganon's tower, 7 crystals to defeat Ganon. Basically, your bread and butter randomizer mode.
Chat noting that let's refer to me as Comms 2. You could be Comms 1.
Let's go for it. All right, we got some flippers right off the bat.
Very nice. Oh, we got an immediate map check. I didn't catch that right away there, though.
Looks like we got blue crystals at Eastern and Hera, and a red crystal out at Desert.
So for those doing the prediction in chat, 0.
Yep, I lost.
Unfortunate. Yeah, me too.
if anyone's ever wondering, as a moderator for the chat, if I have inside knowledge, this proves I do not.
Absolutely. We have, what do we have here? We've got Andrew doing his Uncle start for sure, and we actually have TC skipping Uncle going straight towards tree pull and bushcraft for resources. I guess trekking ledge as well here.
Both are good options to start out. Some people swear by Uncle routing, some people do not. I've recently had some crisis of faith in regards to my Uncle routing.
Bottle on Lumberjack. I don't think we're seeing that ever. Myself included, by the way. I've gone back and forth. I love the ability to get early resources. I absolutely do. But at the same rate, it does feel like such a time expense when you get absolutely nothing, which is where my luck usually is.
Yeah, like, you always hold out hope that you get a weapon from Uncle. Therefore, you can just take that weapon straight into Hyrule Castle for an extra 3 checks or so. But it so rarely works out.
Hello, Mir.
Yeah, so Mir and Flipper, so maybe sending some Swamp Palace vibes early.
I could see it. I can respect that.
Yeah, and these the two people mentoring right now, Orange and JohnSnuu. I know, like I said, JohnSnuu I was in the mentor tournament last year with. I think I faced him around week 3 or 4. I can't quite remember which, but he went on the gold bracket. And I believe Orange was also in last year's mentor tournament. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe I listened to him talk about it a while ago, and it was 2 years ago he was eligible, but last year he was too good or something like that, and wasn't able to participate last year. Which, my point being, both are excellent runners of their own accord, so they should be able to guide these two actual runners, TC and Andrew, to some really, really cool play here.
TC gets lucky bomb pickup in the Kakariko well, facing the possibility of having to skip past that bomb wall, but fortunately does not make that decision.
It does actually. That's following through, I guess, with the gamble of doing the resources, because they came in without enough money for bottle vendor and without bombs. I think it was always adamant skip, just immediately go and do castle or something like that if that ever happens resource wise. But I like his play instead. I like coming into CAC completely and just giving her.
TC's putting that Mir to good use with the block delete.
No, they do have bottle vendor merchant, or bottle vendor merchant, whatever. Okay, let's try English today. English sounds like a great language to use. What do you think?
C.
They have rupees for the bottle merchant now, which is good. There we go. I nailed it first try.
Yeah, English es bueno.
So Andrew just following up.
And some blue mail early is always nice to have. You never say no to some early protection. And right now we're just kind of going through the motions of the opening Kakariko run.
There's nothing that's really pointing us in any specific direction. I could see them going up the mountain for the saving quit right away, but otherwise I think we see the traditional like mini Moldorn play. I don't think either two will veer off too much. We don't see a whole lot of like metagaming in the mentor tournament, which is nice.
Yeah, oh, there's a bow. Wonder if that maybe points him towards Eastern.
Yeah, I take it back completely.
I guess it really depends on these two's experience with dark rooms in Easter Palace.
I can't imagine either will have an issue with it, personally. I mean, I've seen Andrew race. I know he'll do it, or at least he's comfortable with it. He put up a good show yesterday in the daily. Don't know enough about TC, but to be 2-2 in the tournament, they've got to have some sort of aptitude for dark rooms. They must.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I'm wondering if let's see if TC heads over, does the more standard South Shore checks, or if they go to Eastern.
I am surprised we don't see the Snap Sanctuary go grab the back of Escape 3 checks. I think that's generally one of the first things you see after somebody grabs gloves is they go do that right away.
Definitely. And you know, that's sometimes it just matter. Like, those will always be there. You've got access to a clearable Crystal Dungeon now. You might prioritize that over back of Escape.
True. I think the logic behind it is simply just it'll never get faster. Once you have gloves, it's going to be the same check. So it really doesn't matter necessarily when.
Alright, looks like Andrew is taking your advice.
Forgetting they have the mirror though.
Mirror was in
those
Lost
2
Place.
seconds. No, they didn't mirror to the front of Sanctuary.
Oh, right. Ooh, there's a nice flute.
Actually, a CAC skipper might have been rewarded. I don't know if there's any of those. I could see 2 in chat right now.
Yeah, so TC says no to Eastern after finding that flute and is just going straight to free. Well, I guess back of Escape first.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, even though Eastern was fully clearable, it is a crystal. I think at this point they're looking at it like, I have the flute, I can just flute to 5. It's not a big deal anymore. Which I don't mind.
Oh, what's this MSU TC's using? I know this song's from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
I actually don't have my game audio high enough to tell.
Is it the Mystic Quest MSU Wholesale? That's good. Mystic Quest, pretty meh overall game, but rockin' soundtrack.
There's our lamp, which is it's not ominous yet, but that is that's double mountain in logic. So
yeah, we got mountain. Yeah, we got mountain. We got a in logic, fully in logic Eastern Palace now.
All of Hera.
Yeah, we got Hera with that mirror. So yeah, we've got some pretty hefty light world options right now.
Yeah. Welcome boots away from desert still, but I mean, there's lots to do now. Fire rod. All right, game.
So game's throwing all the fire at us. Yeah, and so TC's gonna have some good mobility options here for a few minutes while Andrew goes pick up that flute.
Game is the seat itself is being really stingy money-wise as well. I think that's also keeping them away from the Zora, or like basically all the water checks at this point. That's 4 we're missing, and might be skipping out on for a little bit here.
Yeah, it might be a while before we see Zora. I can't, with all the options at our disposal, wouldn't surprise me if we held off on Zora.
I think right now, not Desert. EP and Hera both look to be the most lucrative once we're done with like retracing each other's steps, dealing with mini Moldorn and all that.
And this is always a tricky room to deal with for newer players. The mini Mortem Cave with no melee weapon.
You have the bow though. Taking the risky left to right shot, which is I'm all about. Of course, I think that's exactly what happens every single time with Mini Moldorn Cave. Is you will always find a better weapon to kill Mini Moldorns inside Mini Moldorn Cave.
Yeah, speaking of melee weapons.
We're Moon Pearl away from Dark World access.
Yeah, so TC is getting a nice little early boost from this flute mobility that Andrew now has. All right, so the race is on. Which are we gonna see? Are we gonna see a Master Sword for Aga, or are we going to see a Pearl for Dark World access?
Because I like the runners, I'm going to say Pearl. I think, I mean, there's so much still to do, right? We've got all of Hera. We've got, I mean, all 2 checks in Hera. It's still all of Hera. We've got all of EP and Logic. We have all the water checks. So there's still lots to do before we're going to get funneled into Aga anyway. Let's just hope that that's the case. We've even got the front of Escape still. There's plenty left.
And we got the East Death Mountain with that hammer pickup as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Which that's another 7 checks there. Or 8 checks. So if I was a betting man, I would probably bet on Moon Pearl before you see Master Sword, but anyone who's played this game long enough, Rando can be pretty cruel sometimes.
That it can. You're onto something there, that's for sure. We'll see, though. We're getting, I guess we're getting both in Eastern right now. I was hoping for a little divergence, but this is fine.
Yeah, you've got a bow, you've got a lantern, I guess I was trying to say there for a second. Why not? I'm having trouble with my wards.
It's good that at least I'm not alone. Well, there's our money. Money's starting to show up now.
Yeah, that's a good chunk of change for Andrew and now TC.
Is there one item out of here too? I missed the first check. I think that's just one, right?
Was that the big key in the first chest?
Yeah, it was. Good eyes. Just curious if they're gonna be in a situation where they can actually skip a check here, but in Stalfos rooms.
Yeah, nice execution of that Stalfos room.
You're going dark.
Alright, let's see what Eastern has for us on this home stretch.
I feel like things are probably going to dry up for a little bit because of how it's given us everything so far. I hope not, but I feel like that's going to be the case. It'll dry up a little bit faster for Andrew because he does not have his sword or hammer yet. That might actually put him in a position to do Mini Moldorn into his water check, so we could see that from him afterwards.
Yeah, I guess that really depends on the money situation. Hang out here.
It is definitely looking a little better.
Oh, nice awareness by Andrew.
That is clever. Actually, I like that a lot.
That gives him just enough money for Zora. So, yeah, I would. I think you might be on something going to South Shore into those water checks.
Yeah, given that they're still going to need probably going to need pod money, or dig gate money, and all that kind of stuff. I like the pickup there. We do have a lot of checks, but if that turns up dry, you don't want to be in a position where you have to money farm somewhere that's like actually out of the way. At least this was somewhat en route, and both of them actually doing it too.
Andrew, without that sword or hammers, going the slightly tougher route through that room, but still pulls it off very nicely.
We are mostly set up for the quick kill. Let's see if he handles it here.
Oh,
just barely. Just barely missed.
And Armos promptly returns 10 of those arrows.
DC having a little trouble with Armos here, but should clean it up just fine.
I said before, but yeah, and Final Fantasy Mystic Quest has such a rockin' soundtrack.
Crazy as I actually remember the music from the game more so than I remember the game itself.
I mean, there's not much to speak of.
I mean, you're not wrong, but the music is that catchy. It definitely had some life to it.
Yeah, Square Enix didn't have a very high opinion of 90s American kids, with Final Fantasy IV being dumbed down and Mystic Quest instead of Final Fantasy V.
Think about how I was as a kid. Granted, I'm not American, I'm Canadian, but still, I'm a pretty dumb kid. So I could see they were onto something there. Ooh, we are getting water check. Is he going to mini Moldorm? He's got to be. Yeah. Okay. Good.
As a 90s kid, I was especially stupid as a kid and in the 90s.
Did Andrew do damn?
I believe so. I don't remember anything of note.
Yeah, okay. That just his route didn't make sense. Or fluting to 8 did not make sense if he had not done damn. There we go. Words. But it does make sense now.
Answering chat, Mr. Angry Pants. Am I comms too? I don't know. We're both pretty meh on Mystic Quest, so I don't know who's who.
No, I didn't say anything about the game being bad. I was saying I was dumb.
There's that Master Sword. We got pendants at Skull Woods, Thieves Town, and Ice Palace.
Good damn Agina, thanks, Pix. Yeah, that's what I thought I remember seeing. Does that make sense? So he's dealt with now all of his so short. Nothing's split off here. I'm walking out, so this must be water checks at this point, I would think. Oh, fluting. Fluting to 8. We're doing Hera. We've changed our mind again. We're doing water checks, okay. DC, on the other hand, doing Hera.
Always feels bad when you make it to Hera without the hook shot, so you gotta do Hera the old-fashioned way.
As the game intended. Nobody likes playing that way anymore.
Yeah, these kids these days with their Hera pods. Back in '91 when this game came out, we walked up Hera and we liked it. Looks like Andrew is heading to the Zora area.
Biggie in the basement. We are doing the long version of Hera tonight. This afternoon. Today, whatever your time zone is, we are doing the long version of Hera. Chat saying we walked uphill both ways to Hera. Yes, this is true. We did. In the snow, in -20.
Yeah, like speaking of snow, like Ice Palace, you know, back in the day we hated Ice Palace because you had to do it the normal way. Nowadays, with your fancy icebreakers and Ice Palace bomb jumps, we didn't have that back then. Zora, once again, living up to his infamous reputation of being just the worst.
Andrew actually saving quitting off that as well, which I don't think they actually picked up anything. Unless I'm crazy or my eyes don't work.
No, that was
I may have scummed that.
Yeah, that's a pretty dry run to the whole Zora area. Alright, good old Trollworm. 3 hammer strikes or master sword spins. Now, part of the arcane script that is this game's logic, light world bosses actually do not take any extra damage from the master sword swings versus fighter sword. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm sure they had something.
The damage they do is different too, because I know like the one specific scenario I could think of is Ball and Chain Guard will do 1/4 of a heart of damage to you, whereas the actual Green Guard can do half a heart when you're on Blue Mail. Or is it Red Mail? I think it's Red Mail. But yeah, the damage they do is different. It'll actually take you longer to at a certain point of mail. It'll take longer for the Ball and Chain Guard to kill you than it will the Green Guard.
Andrew walking past Hera, I guess they're just gonna loop back into Hera from this paradox check. Which actually, I like that. Because you can go down the Spiral Cave, go back up through Paradox, then head back west to Hera. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. I think it kind of punishes hitting mitts in here. Because then you're going to be doing an extra trip since you're starting on the wrong side. That said, though, I like it. In this road, basically you're finishing or you're starting with Spiral instead of finishing with Spiral and basically forcing yourself into a saving quit. So I don't mind it at all. I think this is really good.
Oh, there's the pearl. So at just shy of 25 minutes in, we've got our Dark World access.
There's our first bottle. Well, sort of our first bottle. Excluding Lumberjack Ledge.
Well, that's why the game gave us the Master Sword. Ooh, and Titan's Mitts.
We do get mitts in here, well.
So from here, thinking maybe go up to the Turtle portal, do your... Well, no, we don't have Hookshot or Pegasus Boots. So I guess it's not much of that. You can knock out Super Bunny while you're here.
Yeah, so Andrew choosing to stay at the bottom, go back up through Paradox, and then we'll be here for for Hera, I guess. Whereas TC gets to do it the other way and gets to finish with Paradox here. Or not Paradox, sorry, Super Bunny.
So with Mitzi and Hammer, what do you think they're going to start from, Dork? What do you think they're going to start from Village of Outcasts or from Swamp Palace area?
Oh, we did get the map check. I think we see Village, and the only reason I think that is because there's double penance on that side, so they can just do those 4. They have Mirror. They can deal with the Smith Chain on their way to Swamp, which I think is pretty comfy cozy the whole way through. They also have Flute, so I think we see Village into Swamp rather than the other way around.
All right, and we do have the key to Turtle Rock, so Quake Medallion for that.
I think actually the first thing we get once we're done with the mountain here is probably a Flute to Mire. So you get those checks out of the way, check Desert.
Oh, TC says no to both of us, and it's going to go straight to Pod.
I like that too.
Yeah, you got the hammer, you got the bow. Go for it.
Completable crystal. I do like the swamp play just for the sake of having the information and just knowing a little bit more about what the seed is throwing at you, just because Mire and Desert are both crystals. Both are red crystals too, for that matter, so the information does have quite a bit of value. But hey, completable crystal dungeon with a whole bunch of items inside seems pretty good too.
Yeah, Pod is a pretty rich dungeon, item count-wise. I'm sure the mentors will be giving a crash course on Pod key logic as they go. Which I'm starting to get a little bit better, but Pod key logic can be a pretty tricky beast to comprehend.
I still make mistakes. Took me a while to learn the key, like the important stuff, like front of pod. Basically, you're looking for 2 non-small key items, then you stop, and then the back you're looking for your 2 small keys, and then you know whether or not you have to do Harmless Hellway.
So it's been a pretty straightforward seed so far. I wonder if we'll see any shenanigans. Because I always enjoy commentating a seed with some shenanigans.
I'll take shenanigans every time. Or one might say shenanigan and again and again.
Shenanigans.
English is the theme tonight, folks.
Trying to come up with some clever pun for Ganon shenanigans. Shenanigans? I think that's best I can come up with.
Shenanigans?
So this is the Mentor Tournament. Where we have deep conversations on puns for the game.
Alright, Andrew picking up crystal number 2. We'll see where he takes off to after this, now that he's done all of his mountain stuff up here, I believe.
Yeah, the world is his oyster, so it really comes down to what they want to accomplish here.
You ever realize that saying the world is your oyster when it comes to this game is on point strictly because we have the Pearl to get full access to the other world itself? So, you know, Pearl Oyster seems good to me.
Yeah. It's a good catch. Alright, looks like never mind. I was going to say Andrew was going to go get some Meyer knowledge.
I think he's just checking Ledge and then he's going straight back into Meyer potentially here. VOO, never mind. Or that was another misflute. We are indeed fluting back to 6. So we are getting the Desert Ledge check into Meyer play from Andrew and TC doing the pod play. So we get divergence. We get true divergence here.
And just like with going to the back of escape after you get flute, this is always just
sorry.
No, you're good. This is always just kind of a free play. Once you get mids and flute, go into Meyer just for the knowledge and 2 checks at the very least. Never hurts.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it personally, especially since both are crystals and both are 5/6. Now, some slight inside knowledge. Well, I guess maybe not inside knowledge, but I know not checking Pyramid Fairy really burned Andrew yesterday in a race in the daily. So I think maybe this might be a little bit of that recency bias as well, targeting his 5/6 a little bit more quickly. I know I would absolutely do that. It's too fresh, I guess is the way to look at it.
Yeah, sometimes the wounds we carry from recent seeds can carry over into our next game. I've had games where I've been burned and like immediately tried to course correct. Alright, so not anything we can do with Meyer itself, but we do have that knowledge of the key, which we're already set on that.
Get our first check in a desert here, though, at the very least. Get something done while we're here.
Yeah, we'll get knowledge here if we're boots locked here in just a second. We are not boots locked. Unless you really want those 10 arrows.
What key didn't he get?
Did
he? Maybe he didn't drop down. That's the only thing I can think. Unless, no, because like the actual big key chest is just it's replacing itself.
Oh yeah, key for key. That's always fun.
Yeah. Mystery solved.
Alright, TC's gonna be giving us a showdown with the Helmsor King here in just a moment.
Looks like we get the back and forth long way around desert key layout today, which is not preferred.
Yeah, I hate when desert gets wonky like that. I'm guessing Andrew is, John might have tipped Andrew. I think, I wasn't keeping track, but I think Andrew might have found both their items in desert. Also, not going to go kill Lamelos?
I guess waiting to do Landmo until... I mean, well, Tempered, you have Bow, you have Fire Rod. I don't think it gets much faster. Must be just be waiting on boots. There's no immediate rush to get the crystal, I guess. Is the mentality on that one for them.
Yeah, I guess with Meyer being your other 5/6, you can just not... You know, you can bang out both 5/6 crystals in one run. Helma is just playing nice for TC.
Getting a good 17 hammer whacks in there. Playing really nice, standing there and just eating arrows. That is unusual Helma behavior in my experience.
Yeah, Helma's just like, guess I'll die.
Crystal number 3 for TC. 36 minutes in. We're on a good pace.
Yes, it's a pretty neat and clean seed so far. Oro confirming what I was thinking in chat. Andrew did pick up both their items from Desert.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of point in going to kill, making a special trip for Lambo when you're coming back for Vidi anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we making a run into Hookless Swamp?
I mean, yeah, they would have fluted to 8 if they were gonna do any amount of ice, so I can't see that being the case. This is hype for sure, right?
Oh yeah, duh.
No, it's did they do hype?
No, I don't think so.
No, TC sir. Yeah, there you go. Hype is that way. Nice.
I guess 5 checks is important.
So I could see hype, pyramid catfish, potentially Zora doing the whole loop. Hey, there's our ice rod. There's our Samaria, and red mail.
This is like the
That was a lot of red items. It only really needed the book for one more.
Yeah, that was kind of like the Screw Trimax room. So that gives us a... Well, TC doesn't have their Fire Rod yet, but we do have logical clearance through Charter Rock at this point. Yeah, you know what? We didn't comment. Hype Cave actually delivered.
I don't know what to do with this. It's just so unusual now.
Yeah, I feel like everything I know is wrong. We got the ultra rare Hype Cave is actually Hype Seed.
Not even just hype, it contained progression and immediate stuff we needed, which is good. I approve.
If there's a way to put like a confetti overlay on the restream, go for that. This seed has definitely earned it.
It's not a hype cave, it's the cave formerly known as Hype Cave, as Chet says. Yeah, well now it's the hype, it's the cave formerly known as the cave formerly known as Hype Cave. We've gone full circle on this one now.
Yeah, and it will not earn that title for very long. Give it like the next seed, and it'll go back to the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
I think there's a long discussion about renaming the cave that I had the other day, and I think it should be called Bomb Bomb Cave. Or Cave Cave. Cave Cave would be good. Because, it's a cave in a cave.
Caveception.
Uncle's still having only 50 rupees on him.
Yeah, you always think, you gotta think, some of this, stuff, the quirks of randomizer, think about it from, like, the game. Think about it from, like, Link's perspective or an NPC's perspective. You find your dying uncle who valiantly charged to fight Ganon. It's like, Link, with my last breath, here's $50.
Gone to slay the forces of evil and save Hyrule with $50, no weapon, no shield or anything, just $50. I think I see what went wrong.
Here's $50. Buy yourself something nice. Go see a movie or something.
Alright, we are going to tidy up Pod on Andrew's side. Just deal with Helma and we're out of here. Whereas we are finally getting to see the front of Escape. Let's see what's down here.
Our tracker in chat saying, like, Uncle's just leaving you your inheritance after he dies.
Other Link's uncles gave him $300. Why are you only giving me $50? I thought you'd love to be. $50 does buy a lot of explosives. It's 10 bombs in your pocket.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that.
You can. It's $50.
I mean, what is love but the money necessary to buy 10 bombs? Like, yeah, Uncle could... See, Uncle's also teaching an important life lesson. Like, yes, Uncle could just give you 10 bombs, but he's giving you the money to go out and buy the 10 bombs.
Speaking of bombs, Escape of being remarkably stingy. That was one example of Ball and Chain Guard doing quarter heart of damage. What I was talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Super weird. Super weird.
Yeah, I never actually sat down and like actually clocked that, so that's good. Good to know. Yeah, Andrew with that Temper Sword, taking the slightly faster route to just slice Trinex a handful of times.
Getting our $20 in crystal, and we are out of pod. Let's see where Andrew heads off to next.
Meanwhile, Escape is coming up pretty dry, so let's see where we go from here.
All of the pyramid's been dry so far. So we got hype and we got a whole bunch of nothing. Let's see what we get up at, I'm guessing Catfish Sora is what we're going to see now from TC. It's gotta be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, we know Zora area is bone dry, but let's see what Catfish has for us. That is the new check on the list here.
Yeah, one trash fish was trash, so let's see if we're over 2.
We'll see if Andrew follows suit too during hype into Pyramid Catfish as well. Potentially Escape.
I think Andrew might be slightly less incentivized to go after Escape since he did the Uncle start, but we'll see what happens.
And it's only Catfish, they don't have Zora up there as well, so I do agree with you in that sense that it's definitely less lucrative. I can see them avoiding that and instead heading towards maybe Swamp for that first check. And then VOO.
Possibly that or going Stumpy and Big Game.
Yeah, doing South Road. Yeah, they're not going down to Swamp. Big fan of never, ever, ever touching Hookless Swamp. Big fan.
Yeah, that's usually like that. Going Hookless Swamp before you have to is usually a bit of a Hail Mary play.
What an appropriate time to find the shovel.
Yeah, that's does not get much better than that, short of it being on Stumpy himself.
Yeah. I mean, what's the general rule? If you're coming through this, you always mirror for Cape 45 before doing Cumpy? Or Stumpy and Dig Game. So this is being rewarded.
Stumpy continued the tradition of...
Andrew. Wrong world, buddy.
So close, yeah.
I have done that so many times. Still only finding bombs.
Stumpy continue this Seeds tradition of, with my dying wish, here's some cash.
What is it with everybody who's dying in this game just wanting to give away money?
Ganon drops like a red rupee on death. Like, oh no, you killed me! That's $20. Now I wonder, so we're starting to run out of, that's nice.
And not too bad, it was only 11 digs in, too.
But I was wondering, with checks are running a bit dry, it might be a good advantage to Andrew. I wonder if he might see a Skullwoods play sooner than later.
Well, even with Skullwoods, neither is touched VOO. We still have the quick and easy 4 checks in Thieves Town. We now have Bonkrok's King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge, so we can do the North Route and get all that done as well. We do have. Do we have Cape? No, we don't have Cape yet. But I think there's quite a bit left unchecked.
Yeah, and those boots actually you can bonk into Mire now. So yeah, knock out 2 crystals, your 2 5/6s, easy peasy.
And this might be Andrew's recency bias as well coming into play. Or at least that's what I'm looking, or the way I'm looking at it. So I could actually see him doing Mire Desert and immediately checking Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that's a good play. You know, you can bang out your 5/6 crystals in 1 trip, and immediately go for those the Pyramid Fairy checks.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I especially like not even touching any of VOO right now. Big fan.
Yeah, it's not often you get a seed where you can just outright skip VO, you know, for a majority of the seed.
Why do we get Godmire when we don't need it? Like, what the heck?
That's always the case. You always get Godmire when when you're not particularly looking for it. Generally, from what I've been told, if you pick up the Godmire, sometimes it's not a bad idea to just go for Vitreous anyway, because you're going to kill Vitreous at some point. And it looks like that's what Andrew's doing. And if Vitreous has an item, then that's one less you need to go find out in the dungeon.
Exactly. It's not any faster or any slower just because of the path you have to take to Viti. I'm on board with that for sure.
So you're going to kill Vitreous 100% of the time anyway. So might as well. Shaunikins in chat, yes, that is Final Fantasy Mystic Quest MSU being played right now.
The other half of it too with Mire is honestly like doing the Mire dungeon itself, looking for your items as much as you have to. At least I feel like I take more damage doing that than I do doing Viti, so I'm all aboard killing Viti for the refill, and then going back into Mire.
Yeah, Mire is always a significant drain on resources. I always feel like I'm on edge doing Mire.
I got the spooky 3rd go, but got it nonetheless.
Yeah, like I was saying before, 10 out of 10 soundtrack for a 6 out of 10 game.
So note in chat, you do have to redo the first 2 rooms, which is the trade-off of redoing the first 2 rooms versus potentially not having to do the back or the cutscene chest or anything like that while you're looking for your second item. I think redoing the first 2 rooms is definitely a better trade. Of course, you can get burnt. Everybody can. Good dodge on that one. That could have been dicey.
Oh, I know this soundtrack.
You see where TC had his portal there on the upper, or like the west desert entrance?
Yeah, I actually had to have during my mentor tournament run too. You kind of end up in this weird clip mode where you can just hop right off the.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. Well, at least I've never done it, but I don't remember ever seeing it accidentally done that way.
Oh, okay, that's why. We're looks like Andrew's playing like the grab bag, Legend of Zelda MSU. Because I sound like Link Between Worlds is Dark World. Or maybe this is the Link Between Worlds MSU.
I thought that one was. I'm not sure. I can't hear it right now anyway, not clearly.
It is Link Between Worlds? Okay, that's why I was guessing. I replayed that game recently after like not playing for like 10 years, and there's some nasty muscle memory from playing ALTTPR nonstop for a year straight.
I'll bet. Excellent soundtrack though. I know like there's a ton of tracks in there I love. Alright, we're getting. Sorry, my mic was clipping a little bit there. Here we go. So we're gonna get Lanmo, and we're probably gonna get Pyramid Fairy after this. But we do have TC going up the mountain again, so he's obviously off to TR at this point.
Yeah, without those boots, no access to Mire. You go for the clearable ABCD. You'll always be clearing Crystal Dungeons. So I think we're hookshot for go mode.
Yes. Yeah, we are. We absolutely are.
Alright, I'm calling it now because I'm a terrible person. Hookshot in Swamp.
Oof. I'm gonna say hookshot in hookshot chest.
Okay, I like that too.
Which is the bonkable chest in Hookshot Cave, for those wondering what I'm referring to. That's the one I think it's going to be in.
I can get on board with that.
Nothing makes me feel better in a seed than finding Hookshot in its namesake chest inside Hookshot Cave. It is a great feeling.
And then you think, well, yeah, you just... Why wouldn't it be in Hookshot Cave? It's named after it.
Where you get the notorious hookshot on Trinex. That one is great. So we shall see. We are getting our first couple checks in TR, which we all know that's going to be a key, a small key and a big key, as is tradition. There's our hookshot in Pyramid Fairy. All right, Andrew getting rewarded. Absolutely getting rewarded there. So he's going to be able to do Swamp into TR and finish up on the mountain.
Yeah, definite advantage to Andrew right now.
He's also up a crystal, though, so significant advantage to Andrew at the moment, I believe.
Well, on top of that, you also just factor in that Andrew's going to have to make one less trip up the mountain as well.
Absolutely. And that's what go mode at. It was what, 54.5 minutes, 54:30, give or take.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, pretty nice and clean seed. Not a whole lot of hijinks.
This is the kind of seed I think I enjoy the most, where it's like, it's a little jetty, but it rewards good decisions. And there is the possibility of making the correct decision, and obviously, like, skipping VOO was the correct decision to make in the seed. So getting rewarded for good routing is something I prefer. I prefer to watch. I think it's more entertaining. It's more fun to play too.
Playing and commentating are two different beasts. When you're up in the comms booth, sometimes you just kind of enjoy the chaos.
I mean, I can't disagree in that sense. Everybody loves a little shenanigans, right?
That's right. Boo the Spam, Rating with Party 19. Welcome, everyone. We are close-ish to done. Andrew is in go mode. Just needing to go through a couple more dungeons here.
For TC, where he's at, he's doing his TR clear right now, but he is still looking for his boots, which will lead him to his hookshot. So he needs to go get his boots on Dig Game, which will allow him to finally clear Mire, which will give him his second crystal for Pyramid Fairy, which is where we found hookshot. So he's got a bit of a linear path to his go mode, but only if he heads to Dig Game pretty much right after TR.
Yeah, and already having done Hype Cave, I'm wondering how intuitive beelining the game is going to be for TC.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I don't think it is intuitive at all. I think the natural play would be to probably skip out on Skullwoods, but go through VOO from north to south. Probably doing the 4 checks in Thieves Town. I think that would be the intuitive play.
Yeah, and if you're that pressed for checks, I wonder if you even stop the first 4 of Thieves Town.
Also true, yeah. I guess it depends what you hit. Hopefully he decides to just immediately flute to Link's house and go the south route.
And there's not much that's even going to be much of a help anymore. Like, you know, Silvers would be nice, but I would imagine both these players are acquainted with Silverless Ganon at this point.
Yeah, I think the comfy spot with the tempered Silverless is okay. I don't think anybody's a fan of Master Sword Silverless, but yeah, tempered Silverless I think everybody is on board with at this point in the Mentor Tournament.
Yeah, I don't think you find a whole lot of people who get hyped for Master Sword and Silverless, but Tempered Silverless, that's pretty comfy.
It just occurred to me that TCD is probably even more incentivized not to go the south route or through VOO and through Dig Game, because they're probably going to want to finish that route at Swamp. I would think, or find what they need, find the hook along the way, then go through and do Swamp is the last thing that they do before they save and quit for Mire. I think it's working against them right now.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, this game, this scene does not exactly steer you towards that area too, so it's just kind of awkward.
Ooh. Deadrock's playing nice for Andrew on his last climb up the mountain here.
I don't know how much of a controversial take this is, but I still think Dead Rocks are one of the worst things that happened to this series.
I don't think that's controversial. I think that is fact.
Like, a lot of people like to point to Navi or Tingle. I point to Dead Rocks. And also, even with hindsight, Natty's not even that bad. I think this kind of became a meme.
Well, yeah, you won't find me disagreeing on that one.
I was go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, let's see, since we're retracing each other's steps, let's just see if I can do this part right. I'm going to shout out the runners here. Make sure you follow our runners, Andrew and GameCenterTC, and their mentors, respectively. We have JohnSnuu and Orange, and then my fellow commentator, LucienGreeth. I'm Nugz. We've got otherTom tracking, and Bread-kun doing some pretty fantastic restreaming for us tonight. Make sure you give everybody a follow. If you so choose, I highly recommend it. Both runners are very entertaining, and as are their mentors.
Definitely. Nicely done.
I'm learning. I'm trying.
Hey, we're having a good time.
We are definitely having a good time. I did it. I even got the chat part right. Look at me go. I'm learning. Thanks for your help for all this so far.
Hey, you're welcome. It's always fun. It's always fun to help.
We'll get our runner shout out fixed here really quick. I thought it was.
But if you so choose, go ahead and follow those other racers too, because they're also good. Let's see, Raylan Tinctures. I remember them. I think they were my mentor last year for a race.
I think you'd be hard. Oh my God, English. Jeez, you would be hard pressed to find a bad mentor. I don't think it's a thing. The community is too good for that kind of stuff. Like I said before, you get answers and help that pull you in rather than push you away. It's a good experience, regardless.
I haven't mentored yet, so I cannot speak to whether I am a good mentor or not.
Nothing in Spike Cave. I would imagine you'd be fine. You'd be a great mentor. I think the biggest things that are the most helpful that I've experienced, and I'm sure a lot of other mentees can agree, is the ability to communicate with somebody who's both approachable, loaded with information, and can articulate. Those are the three biggest things that help. As long as you can convey your ideas and your thoughts, and I can actually, process them and learn them, it's going to be a good experience. And everybody that I've talked to has been like that so far.
Yeah, my most memorable experience in the mentor tournament last year. I learned most of my dark rooms on the fly, like mid-seed last mentor tournament.
Yep.
And I had my mentor just guiding me through dark maze, like I'm going through a minefield. All right, go ahead and move left until you hit a wall. All right, now go ahead and move up. It's like going through a minefield.
Yep, I've had that very similar experience. I've had, one of my mentors. I had. I think it was specifically the scenario. I think it was Mr. Ed in my ear, reminding me prior to Dark Mire how to do the room step by step while I was doing nothing else in the entire dungeon. I was just running basically towards Dark Mire, so it was just downtime. He's like, just remember, be calm about it. These are your 4 steps. Do it in order. Don't walk forward and all this kind of stuff. And it made such a big difference. And I could think of times where I've tried Dark Mire on my own where it took me, minutes. But just having that second voice in your ear to keep you calm and deal with the nerves for one thing, but also guide you through step by step makes so much of the game more approachable. It was a really good experience. Everything so far has been a good experience. I can't say that enough.
Yeah, and that's always I assume a lot of people who are here participating have at least played Link to the Past and know it on some level. But to have that voice in your ear who is just deeply familiar with the Rando aspect, just guiding your moves makes such a difference.
Yeah, 100%. It's about being approachable as a big part of it anyway, but also being something you can learn from. Because I know when you're participating in a game or you're playing something or you're You know, same holds true for sports. There's so much going on. It's hard to learn in the moment, but when you have somebody else kind of refreshing, like this is what you just did, this is what you're doing, you're going to be doing this soon, and all this kind of stuff, it breaks it down and makes it also memorable, so you can learn from it rather than just do it. It's the difference between being piloted and being mentored, right? It's a vastly different experience doing it this way, and you learn so much more.
Yeah, because like with pilocy, it's just like, all right, go here, pick up the thing here. And pilot seats are fun, but it's, like you said, it's a whole different experience being mentored versus being piloted.
Yeah, 100%. So I do know there is a tradition once that 7th crystal is obtained, which we're going to see from Andrew here. You wanna highlight that for us really quick?
Yes, so we are inbound towards Ganon's Tower. Looking for that big key. There are 22 chests in Ganon's Tower basement. One of them has the big key that we need to make the climb up the tower. So get your guesses in chat, 1 through 22, on which chest will have that Ganon's Tower big key.
I think if we can get a prediction up too, because I know we've had a couple predictions, I think we can do that. Or somebody can. Somebody who can hear me can. What's your number? What do you go for? What do you think it's going to be?
I root for chaos every time, so 22.
I'm going to go with 13, because I am not sadistic.
If you commentate with me long enough, you'll learn I'm honestly just a terrible person.
That's fair. I can't fault you there. And we shall see Andrew making his way in as we speak. We have TC trying to narrow down where his progression is. His progression is, as we talked about briefly earlier, it is his boots, which are on Dig Game. Dig Game will take him over to Mire to finish Mire, which will allow him to go and open Pyramid Fairy for his hook shot, which will put Swamp as his final crystal. However, he's getting enticed into doing the north checks and probably going to be going north-south through VOO down to finally get to his boots.
You talk about underrated track, Low Roll Castle playing right now. Beautiful track. I'm gonna go music nerd here for a second. I love the aspect that as you progress through Low Roll Castle, it adds instruments. I wish more video game soundtracks did that, because the only other one I can think of that does that is the Gull and Maya boss fight in the first Jak and Daxter.
I can think of other scenarios in games where I remember that kind of happening, where the track itself, or like the bass track, is persistent, but it gets more complicated with like other music being overlaid on top as you get into like deeper in, or more enemies show up or whatever. The music changes, but the bass line's still there. I just can't think of any specific examples.
Yeah, the only one I can think of off the top is the final battle from the first Jak and Daxter.
Racing games do it a lot, where like the next lap is a little bit more complex version of the same track.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like Crash Team Racing, Mario Kart. Yeah,
Diddy Kong Racing does that, which is phenomenal music in that game. I've been using that MSU quite a bit lately. The Diddy Kong Racing MSU. Andrew, TC making the play to go to the game first here instead of doing the rest of VOO. I like it.
He will be handsomely rewarded.
Still quite a ways behind, but rewarded nonetheless. I have not been counting. What are we at for checks? It's got to be what, 1, 2. Did he do Hope? I don't think he did Hope, right?
He did Hope. So
he did. So 1, 2,
yeah.
3, 4, 6, 7. That's 8, right? 9, 11, 12. That's 12, right? That's got to be 12.
Let's see. So we're minus 5 from the right side. So there's 4 checks left on 18. I think we're on 14.
14? Okay. I'll buy that. 1, 2, 3. 13. Yeah, okay.
13? Okay. I was close, but not quite. between the two of us tonight, we've got some English math skill clinks going on.
I mean, if you average out where we both thought we were at, we were right.
I'll take that. You're technically correct, which is, of course, the best kind of correct.
Form of being correct, absolutely.
Oh,
Silvers, alright. I'll take it.
Oh, and Magician routing it is. So looks like we got that big key over on the right side, or dare my prediction be correct?
I sincerely hope he does Tile Room, and you're still correct, and it's the last one. He does Tile Room first, though. Just for the beams. Nope, skip a Tile Room.
Yeah, never do. Unless you're feeling like you absolutely need a Hail Mary, don't do Tile Room before anything else. And get
I didn't say it was a good idea. It was an idea.
It is an idea.
Right,
Yeah,
yes. The next set of 4 will have a small key and the big key in it together. If there's a small key.
But yeah, for anyone curious, doing Tile Room before literally anything else against our basement is usually a Hail Mary play. So close, one more.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that was right!
Wow.
Victory for the Tile Room guessers. I will take my points now.
I believe you win a lifetime supply of Rando seeds where Tile Room is where your GT big key is.
That is my karmic punishment for what I do.
Closest in chat was Yognor. I don't even know how to say that name, but yes, you also win a lifetime supply of seeds where your big key is in Tile Room.
Oh, and there it is.
I did not see that coming.
No one does until it's there. I'll tell you, so I got my start playing Rando with the Links to the Past, the ALTTPR subreddit, and I did like their casual competitive seeds, and I remember 3 weeks in a row had Tile Room big keys.
Yeah, it seems like when there's something really unorthodox, it just seems to show up over and over. For me, lately, it's been, because I've been trying to get into cross keys, learning a lot about cross keys and such. I've had 3 seeds in a row where my flute has been on GT Torch.
I'll tell you, I had a seed recently where you needed AGA access logically for East Dark World, and me being the smart guy I am, I did a current jump over to East Dark World thinking like, oh yeah, screw you, AGA, I got it. But then it turns out my go mode was last location down Lumberjack.
That's karma right there.
AGA's like, oh, you thought you got away, huh?
Yeah. No, there's been some nasty ones. I know I can't remember if it was one of the practice seeds we had for the mentor tournament or unofficial practice seeds that a bunch of people did, but there was one seed where we had access to Hook, Pearl, and I think Master Sword, so we could do all of like nothing in the overworld. Forced to do AGA. First chest pod was our flippers, so now we had flippers Hook as our Dark World access to West Dark World through AGA, with Hammer in Hype Cave and both gloves in VOO. It was nasty. For a seed where you're supposed to learn from as a mentee, that was a shocker.
Yeah, that sounds pretty rough.
Andrew with a very, very clean climb so far. Nice and speedy.
Ooh, nice takedown of Lambo, too, as well.
Yeah, Lambo's comfy cozy. I'll take a 2-cycle Lambo 2 any day of the week. That room is so laggy for me. It seems like a struggle.
See, a pick 6 in chat is pointing out if you want to, if anyone wants a pro strategy for this game, just go where the items are. You know,
Absolutely.
That's all you gotta do to win at Rando. 100% of the time, just go where the progression is.
Yep. That's what he tried to teach me, and so far I have not been very good at it, but it's a good philosophy. Just go to the items. EC does look like he's making the smart choice of going to where his progression is. Unless this is first check Swamp, which I doubt it. This has got to be Big Bomb. I hope it's Big Bomb for their sake. It's Big Bomb. Good. The answer in chat to so is that considered a 2-cycle or a 1-cycle since the first cycle is a 0-cycle? Your answer is yes.
All right, Andrew's making the final approach to our favorite wizard.
You don't know many wizards, do you?
None. Like enough.
Aga is not on my list of favorite wizards.
He's no Gandalf.
Getting a 1 to start. These patterns are not friendly. This one's a little better. 2 more. I like this pattern. Here we go. Didn't happen. All right. Four. And there's our last 2.
All right, time for this final showdown with the Big Pig. Someone in chat pointed out that that big key really ruined the opportunity for a sub 80-minute seed.
Yeah. It's been a remarkably quick one. This is actually probably one of the quicker seeds of the entire Swiss stages so far. I don't think there's been many that have been under 120 or close to. There's been a couple.
I mean, 120 is a pretty good day at the office for pretty much anyone who runs this game, even at a high level.
Absolutely.
You'd be hard pressed to find any like top level players who would complain about 120.
Just going through right now, this actually may be the fastest. This could potentially be the fastest seed we've had.
Ooh, nice dodge there. That could have been ugly.
And here we have it. As long as he can handle this bridge, we will finish with a sub 122. This will be 121 and change.
And there we go with the official time of 121.08. Andrew has finished in first place for this game. I don't understand the reference the Triforce just made.
I was busy looking at times. I didn't actually see it. What did it say?
This was a 7000 series train.
That's a reference to a reference. 7,000.
This is a reference to the...
I know it, but don't know it.
It's a reference to the subtle fact that I don't know what it's talking about.
Is it referring to processors?
It could be.
Sorry, not processors, video cards. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 121.08. So I did a full check. I think I did a full check. That would have been the second fastest finish time so far this entire tournament, with the third fastest belonging to Bread, who is our Restreamer for today. But I believe that is the second fastest finish we've seen. They're still watching TC get through Swamp here, and then they're going to be doing their climb. Still with a very respectable time they'll finish with.
Let's see, unless they somehow magically beeline that big key. I was sort of thinking at 130 is probably still pretty conservative, even if they did find the big key first.
And the other thing too is, like, if you're TC here, how do you? I don't know how you would necessarily feel behind. I think it's going to be a bit of a shock when they see the race room.
I've had those games where, like, you're just feeling on top of the world. Like, I made all the right checks, and sometimes you could be riding high and just someone rode higher.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my one of my mentor tournament, my bracket round games where I had that where it's like I always feel like, yeah, I nailed it, and then it turns out my opponent nailed it even harder.
And we're joined by Andrew. Andrew, GG's.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed. I was just saying, I think this, I'm fairly certain on this one, this is the second fastest finish time we've seen.
No way. Oh, wow.
There's a 117, and the only other fast one I've seen is a 125. The 125 belonging to Bread, who is restreaming, but I believe this is the second fastest finish time we've seen all tournament so far.
Oh,
so
wow.
Congrats and GG's.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice, easy breezy seed.
That just jetted out just too perfectly. That was just, wow, ridiculous.
Well, it helps that you made some excellent decisions that rewarded you.
Yeah,
your south route to get up in towards Vu, for example, and hitting the game is where you did was huge, I believe.
Yeah.
Just looking at what TC's done. How'd you feel about the seed overall?
It's obviously it's the best I've done. It's like a 20-minute PB for me.
Oh, congrats then. That's huge.
Thank you.
Excellent.
I'm still trying to, like, wrap my head around a 120. But I'm sorry, words are escaping me right now.
I feel it. Here's, let me throw something at you, because I've got a question that's actually it's pertaining to a seed that is very recent, as I watched you race yesterday as well.
Oh,
was your pyramid fairy check influenced by that? Was this a bit of recency bias that pushed you towards getting Mire and Desert done quickly?
Getting my checks right tonight was a big thing. If anyone didn't watch my because I did the Speed Gaming Daily yesterday, and I completely messed up my map check. My go mode item ended up being a pyramid fairy, so I was wasting about like an extra 20 minutes to figure out what did I miss. So number one, I got my map checks a lot better today than I did last night. But just between the way things just popped up and John helping me with just thought processes on routing, it just everything came together.
It sure looked like it from this end.
Yeah, John's good people.
Yeah, very, very good. And I've been working on execution of stuff over the last week, well, week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever. A lot of my boss fights have got immensely better since a couple weeks ago. Execution in some rooms, especially GT, has gotten a lot better since. So
your GT climb looked very, very clean from
yeah,
an outsider perspective. Like, I know you're in a state at that point where you're like, I'm 120 into, or I'm almost 120 into my seed, and I am climbing GT. Like, I can't imagine both excitement and nerves that kind of would have been going on, but it still stayed stable and clean, which I mean obviously shows that there's been a lot of practice behind it.
As far as that, as far as that's concerned, and John was helping me push with this. No, I'm at like 3 hours. I'm in last place right now. I'm just finishing the seed, and I think it kind of helped me keep my mind in check. To be honest,
that's good. I think that's where mentors help. Lucien and I were talking about that earlier. We're having that extra voice in your ear.
Yeah. The routing choices. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I would have made those routing choices on my own. Like I'm starting to get my execution down. But I know a weak point for me, is routing, and like what items I have, what that's opening up logically, and when to decide when to take risks. And John was instrumental with that on this seed.
Can you give an example of like a risk that you think you took that maybe John helped with in the seed?
Oh, the southern dark route, or dark world route. Doing hype to K45 Grove, and then getting boots on digging game. I wouldn't have, and then completely avoiding VOO. If I would have been doing it by myself, I'd have just gone to VOO. Probably done the first 4 of Thieves Town, and then check front of
Ooh. Sorry, I just noticed that TC just made a mistake and missed a check.
Oh no.
It's not going to punish them there. So TC is, I don't know if you're watching right now, TC is just finishing up GT, doing Ice Armos fairly cleanly so far.
Yeah, I just saw
they just missed the bomb floor check. So hopefully that doesn't cause them to go back before doing tile room.
Oh yeah. That could be bad.
Also getting some arrows before those mimics.
Yeah, I think there's some in this top right chest. One of these chests has arrows, I think. No, it's a heart.
Yeah,
it's a heart.
I can't remember, to be honest.
So further to what you were saying, so the South Road was kind of that risk. So your opponent also skipped VOO.
Oh wow. Okay.
TC never really did any of that. They just also didn't go over to dig game when you did. But you also did the flipper checks much earlier, which left them the ability to do hype, pyramid, catfish, and then the flipper checks. Whereas since you already done that, probably were less incentivized to go that way and instead go south up through VOO. So that was, I think, probably the biggest turning point, or the biggest advantage.
Okay.
Because TC didn't get their boots until I think you were finishing TR.
Oh wow.
Or it was very late.
Yeah, that's a very long wait for that. Wow.
You may have actually been in GT at the time when they finally got their boots.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that could have saved him a lot of time too.
Yeah, no, they went. Their opening Dark World route was going for the tile chest before Compass Room. That's
That'll work out absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, to what I was saying, they're opening. I guess they're not.
Oh,
Huh.
oh, okay.
In any case, their opening Dark World route was Hype Cave to Pyramid to Catfish.
Oh, okay.
Which since they hadn't done Zora, they also mirrored to Zora.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that's not, one of the things I had a hard time kind of learning and internalizing was just because the route you took wasn't the one that worked does not mean it was a quote unquote bad choice.
Right.
Which is something I kind of struggled to I did what seemed like a good idea, but it didn't work out. I made bad choices. Like, no, they were good choices. They just weren't the right ones.
Mm-hmm.
And so to that effect, making that, doing Hype Cave to Pyramid to Catfish to Zora to Waterfall or Waterfall to Zora, definitely a smart run. It just wasn't the right one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it just everything we decided to do, it worked out tremendously.
Yeah, I was thinking too, especially considering the fact that you were able to get all the way up to Tempered along that path, as well as collect your silvers and GT, kind of smoothed it out near the end. I think one of the bigger risks I've noticed is when a seed is yes, in a way this was fairly linear if you go to where progression is every time, but you could have easily done all of VOO. You could have easily done Skullwoods and stuff as well.
Right.
And you wouldn't have found any of those things anyway, so I think there's some real dangers and seeds that are open in the way that this one was, and it just so happened that you made basically all of the right choices in the right order as well, which is even more important.
Right. Absolutely. And again, I don't think those are choices I would have made on my own.
What about checking Meyer early? Because I think the information you got helped you potentially more than TC, or was it the other way around? Did you check Meyer and do the back of Desert before going and doing both Meyer and Desert? I can't remember.
We did.
You or the other way around.
We got the info, and then we did front of Desert.
Right. Okay. So it was your side that did that. Now, do you think that information influenced the rest of your seed and how you kind of approached it, or like was it valuable information, or did it really matter? Do you think?
Considering they were both considering we found Quake early, and both Desert and Meyer were crystals. I mean, obviously we just kind of clear both at the same time when they were convenient. It just worked.
We do have TC still finishing up his climb here, but now he's kind of getting through the meat of it.
Yeah, I see he's up on he's doing the climb now. Just starting the gauntlet.
He's still going to finish with a very respectable time.
Oh, absolutely.
Just this is a perfect example of there was just a better way.
Yeah. Even I right now I would still consider like a 150 still respectable. It's not a bad time at all. And he'd actually probably finish earlier than that.
Yeah, I was wondering if TC's gonna make a stop at the hospitality room.
We thought, and actually John and I were thinking about that because I was getting low on magic, and then one of the mimics dropped a full magic. I'm like, well, okay, we don't have to stop there anymore.
Yeah, I still need a lot of these safeties as I climb. Like I am so less practiced than it feels like than almost everybody else in the tournament so far. But knowing where all these things are has been pretty helpful. I think I've got pretty intimate knowledge about like every single heart piece, or sorry, every single heart that I can grab, every single magic refill. I just kind of needed it at first.
Right.
But that room has been a godsend, let's say.
Yeah. I know. Early on, well, even now. Well, and I did it last night too. I stopped at hospitality on the way up because I knew I needed it. But then again, my GT last night was absolutely terrible. I'll admit it. It was bad. Just tonight.
Nice trick shot.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh wait, you be on Lambos. No, I'm not up to that point yet.
It was a miss that turned into a hit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Got the magic bullet.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. There we go. That was nice. And I think I got kind of lucky on cleaning up the landmo on my GT climb. Also got lucky on the cleanup on Desert Palace landmo tonight too. I've been trying to practice NMG landmo, and it just keeps kicking my butt.
Oh, it's not easy.
No,
it is an extremely challenging fight. I think your first landmo tonight was 1 cycle, and the second was 2 cycle, if I'm not mistaken.
No. First one was also a 2 cycle.
Was it 2 cycle? Okay.
Yeah. It was a decent like backup, quote unquote, but yeah, it was a 2 cycle.
One thing so just seeing TC in this room, one of the best bits of advice I got for dealing with that room is never go above the first pot you pick up. Just follow that line; you'll never get hit.
Yeah, and actually, I think that was the first time I've done that torch room and not gotten hit. Like, do the actual, like the proper strat for it and not gotten hit.
Usually the way I tackle that torch room is once you light the bottom 2 torches, you can bonk across the gap to reach the top level.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's something I didn't know.
Yeah, it's perfectly spaced so you can bonk across. Oh, Troll Dorm strikes.
Uh-oh. I'm not up to
okay.
that point yet.
Come back and they'll grab it off this one.
Yeah, give it a shot. Like that gap between the bottom and top torches is perfectly bonkable.
Oh, okay.
Moldorm's still on.
Oh, yeah, there he goes.
Woof. Oh, no! Moldorm up 2-0 now on this fight.
Tordorm had to get his licks in at some point this seed.
I mean, we call him Troll Drone for a reason.
Alright, one more. Oh no!
Just bullying tonight, this afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. It's bullying at this time for you.
At this particular hour, wherever in the world you are, Troldorm is trolling.
Oh yeah, I just saw the third fall. Ouch.
There we go. Sometimes Troldorm can be the great equalizer. On top of GT routing, sometimes Troldorm just likes to tip the scales.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was prepared to use hook shot strats there. I don't think I needed it for that one though. The last hit, I don't even know how that hit. I kind of seemed like I went right through the head and hit the bottom of the tail. I don't know how, but okay, sure, I'll take it. Oh, the conveyor belt room after Moldorm 2. I hate this room.
I don't know anybody who likes it.
Yeah.
This is mandatory cape on my end. We got 1 hit so far for TC. 2 hits.
Yeah, if you miss the timing between those first 2 bumpers, that room can be a nightmare.
Right.
Well, we got a good pattern here. Having a little trouble with Agatu.
And I didn't see, does
3 hits.
TC have Any potion safeties or?
It's a good question.
I believe they still have a. Ooh, they might still have a fairy.
Okay.
Yeah, Pyramid Fairy refill was fairy, so yeah, we got that at least.
There's 6.
And that's what I forgot. Something else I forgot to check. I have to get myself in the mindset every time I go into any fairy fountain, throw a bottle in.
Just
But
once you pick up that first chest, walk up to the ledge, go pick up the second chest. It's kind of something that got pounded into me. Well, pounded into me. I say pounded. It was just repeated a couple times, and now I just do it habitually. First chest, ledge, second chest.
JohnSnuu in chat reminded me of my failure to not do NMG.
All right, we get TC on Ganon. At 2.5 hearts. Dicey. I'm 6.
I might go play Mystic Quest. I heard it's a short game.
1, 2, 3.
Which game?
There we go. We should be in phase 3 now.
TC's using the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest MSU, and
okay.
It's got me wanting to play it.
Goodness, I haven't played Mystic Quest in forever. There you go. Use the cape. Good job.
Very nice.
Good bad dodge. That was a little bit of a gamble. There's nothing worse than that very last bat loop that it does, or bat circle that it does, where half the loop is off screen, so you maybe aren't sure that it's coming around that one extra time.
Oh yeah, I just saw it. Wow.
That could be a scary one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, he's got parry.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw it in his inventory. Oh.
There we go, though. There's the last one.
There we go. The pig is roasted for TC as well. Get your GGs in the chat for TC. With an official race time of 1:43.50, TC finishes up the seed. We'll see if TC wants to join us for an interview here in a moment.
Did you get that reference, Andrew? The 7,000 seconds one?
The 7,000 series train?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is the Shinkansen in Japan.
Okay, maybe. I was thinking video card, personally, but yeah, that was a reference. I don't think I understood. Neither of us, neither Lucien nor I understood.
Hold on, I'm searching. Oh no, it's
joining us pretty quick.
A train on the metro in Washington D.C.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
It's been a long time since I've been in DC. Hopefully, a lot of us will be going to DC for SGL this fall.
We are joined by TC in Orange. TC, GG's.
GG.
GG's.
Oh well.
Yeah, take a breath. How did you feel about that seed? I mean, it's a super general question, but it seemed like there was some hiccups partway through.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, first of all, I'm excited because it's my first genuine sub 2 hour run. I mean, mostly
huge. Congrats.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, mostly to this seed because, like, as it seemed to be laid out, like, it seemed there was a very straight and obvious path. Even there were some inconventionalities, I suppose. Like, not a whole lot of risk taking though, but I think there were a couple of things we did that kind of ended up burning us. Like we didn't check out Thieves Town right away to do all those checks because missing boots there, that definitely hurt us the most. But
yeah, um, Andrew actually, along with JohnSnuu, they did the south route towards VOO and ended up skipping the entirety of VOO because of where they hit boots, and that was the clutch little
Yeah.
thing that swung a bunch of time for sure.
hmm
That was also an option, but
Bit of bad luck in GT too, because like the last place you probably want to look for the big key.
Yeah, it looked like you were going to be grabbing the big key pretty quick there, and then you left the room after about 7 tiles.
Yeah.
yeah, that was just a bit of minor intervention there.
It kind of makes sense because it is a bit of a time sink compared to like clearing out the rest of the dungeon. Like the chance of like one of like 6 or 7 of it being there, it would make more sense to continue with that one and save that one time sinking room for last.
Right? Yeah, the item density. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Definitely sounds like overall for both of you guys, this has been another example of improvement match after match.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
this whole tournament has been like a great learning experience for me in particular. Like my timing, like I've been averaging like 230 like at best before I started the tournament. Now I'm like averaging between like 2 and 215. So
Yeah, that feel it. I can personally relate. My times have been kind of following the same thing, and it feels good. And I think that's the best part about this mentor tournament is we're learning a lot at a much faster rate. I think because we've got mentors like JohnSnuu and Orange, and everybody else helping
yeah,
in the way that they are, rather than piloting their teaching.
Right.
yeah. Well, I mean, Orange has been putting me through the ringer, like even between all my other mentors, like Krellville, Jesse, 2C, like they've all been great mentors, giving me little things to learn here and there. Like particularly my first match with Jesse, whatever, kind of busted my ego a little bit, but I kind of needed that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I had Jesse week 2, and yeah, he did a lot of that as well with me.
Mhm.
Yeah, week 1 is kind of the reality check for some of the mentees.
Oh yeah. I had CJ week 1 and I learned a ton.
Week 1 last year, I felt I was too good for a tracker, so
Oh no.
I got slapped in the
No.
face. I got slapped in the face with that pretty hard.
Well,
Oh no.
I'm
No.
starting to learn how to use map trackers, so
I think that was like the one of the biggest things I had to tell you before the mentor tournament even began. It was like use a map tracker.
yeah.
Yeah, thankfully that was something I picked up pretty quickly. And especially between emulator, or if you use the flash card or flash cartridge, you can use auto tracking, and that is such a massive convenience.
Yeah. Especially when I keep track of like, oh, I got the hook shots. Like, oh, I clicked on bombs.
Yep. Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and even before I discovered that auto tracking would work, I was mistakenly clicking on different items on my tracker. So yeah, thank goodness for auto tracking.
Yeah, for technology.
Yes.
Still have to set that up, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember week 1 when I wasn't using a tracker last year. Technolink, who's my mentor, joke between him and I in Discord is like, because I remember asking like, wait, was pod a pen or a crystal? I can't remember. So that gets brought up because if I used a map tracker, I'd know if pod was a pendant or a crystal. It was a pendant. I did full cleared it for a blue pendant.
And for setting up auto tracking, you might have to ask around because I don't know how to do it on the SD to SNES that you're on. I would only know how to do it on an emulator.
Yeah, I'll see if I can figure it out.
I
There's
can
bound to be someone here who can help you.
me.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I know how to do it on the SD2 SNES.
Yeah. Well,
Or at least I think I remember.
Yeah, it's right next to my computer, so like getting the hardware won't be too much trouble at this point. But yeah, I'll definitely be looking into that.
Yeah, I guess that kind of winds everything down a little bit here. Does anybody have any final thoughts? About the seed, about the tournament, how things have been going.
Yes, it just food skip.
Yeah. I think nothing else too. Like this whole tournament so far, I've been put into a lot of situations. Like if I'm gonna swing this back to my first run with Jesse, I had a Trinex hammer fight, which was probably the first time I encountered that, and I think that was primarily what cost me the run. So I think it was either him or a couple afterwards. Like told me it's like, yes, you have to practice that because you are going to end up in some terrible boss fights, like Hammer Trinex. I can't count the number of times I've done a Hammer Thief, Hammer Mothula, and yeah, it's been a great learning experience for that kind of stuff too. It's like you do have to prepare for the worst situations.
Yeah, and just playing on your own, they're not things you would normally think of.
Absolutely not. I wholeheartedly agree with both of you on that note. Even my personal experiences going through the mentor tournament itself so far, but also just like as I've watched and commentated, it's like, wow, okay, yeah, that's something that could happen. That sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
think about my second race. That was with Arrow, and me and Krabble made the call to go into dip into Tower of Terror because we were right there. It's like not like a free check, but it doesn't take you too whole long. We found silvers at the top, and that was great because we had fighter swords right up until GT, and they had a rotten time with Vitreous, which for us it was like we had silvers, dip dip dip, done. Whereas they, hammer with a fighter sword, like it was not a good time.
A lot of these, what am I trying to say? A lot of learning to practice and whatnot. You have to be able to practice this on your own, but sometimes it's not a matter of just straight up practicing. Because what do you practice? You gotta know what you need to practice in. You can definitely learn a lot just following a monkey see, monkey do approach by just watching any of the mentors play and just mimicking them.
100%. That's why I watch a lot personally, is because that's one of the ways that I learn, either what can happen or what I should be looking out for or things to practice. Because yeah, like one of my favorite sayings is you don't know what you don't know, right? There's a lot of things we don't know about this game. Me being only 2 months in, how do I find these things? That's what the whole Go Mode podcast channel itself, the mentor tournament, and all the mentors included, and all of my co-mentees, it have all kind of painted this big picture of like all these things that we can now learn and how to learn them and best methods and all this kind of stuff. It's been pretty sweet. I have nothing but positive things to say about everything so far.
Absolutely.
The dirty little secret of just learning to run Rando well for any speed run is plagiarism. Because they already found the strats for you. You just need to look it up and eventually copy and paste it from your mind into your hands and controller.
Yeah. Nobody here is reinventing the wheel or the Triforce in this case, but absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
There's a Wikipedia page that you're gonna Control C off of, and your hands are to Control V. That's the dirty little secret.
Unless you're like one of the gifted, privileged few to discover a glitch, I think last summer Phil Stea discovered the that new hair pot method.
Phil Stea.
Oh, Philippot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil Stea permanently changed Bootsless Parapot.
Yeah, there are privileged few people who can truly claim to have changed the game of Rando, and like Warren said, it's all a bunch of copying.
Well, and it's like the kern jump. I mean, it's not something you could potentially use a lot, but if you need it, wow, it can save a lot of time.
Like you can save an entire castle tower. It's huge, but niche. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Unless
Lucien, you got any final thoughts here as well while we wrap up?
No, we've said our bit. We have sung the praises of this tournament, the entire process. What Tim, Dancy, and Herf have put on and Axial back in the day. It is, like I said, I think it represents the best of this already great community.
Wish more communities adopted this format and not just us.
Oh, hey,
I will say
Monkey
those
see,
people
monkey
have
do,
been.
right? You know?
Yeah. I will say the people I've met here so far, like everyone's been like super friendly and helpful, and I will say like all my mentors have shown me the patience of saints to
Oh, yeah.
pull me to where I'm at right now. So I'm very reflective for that, and I think this community does kind of foster that sense of like if someone learns a trick, it's not like theirs alone. It's like they share it with everybody, so everyone can improve.
Right.
Now, I haven't mentored yet, but just picture Arlie Ermy from Full Metal Jacket, and that's kind of the style I plan on going for if I mentor.
We challenge each other to be the best.
Yeah, disregard what I
Like-
said.
Like no one ever was.
Oh God.
To catch a missile test.
To check them is our real test.
But what is your cause?
Finding that dang ice rod.
Which was free this seed.
Thank goodness.
We were kind of despairing that we're gonna find Fire Rod a bit earlier than we did, and it's like, oh, we gotta do like whole of TR with like very poor equipment. But by the time we got to it, it's like, okay, we're doing fine now.
But yeah, this tournament, this entire process, like I said, a lot of I've always shied away from competitive gaming just because that barrier to entry. There's always like this stigma, like say like some of those shooter games. Yeah, there's always a stigma like you're playing badly, like what are you even doing, kind of attitude. But here it's nothing but good vibes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now your mentor may bust your butt during the run, John, but it's well deserved. Absolutely well deserved when he busts my butt.
No, I can grab that key later, right, Orange?
See? As long as you place your mirror in the correct spots.
or why'd you flute? Why'd you flute? Why'd you flute? Why'd you flute? Or why'd you flute? I'm sorry, why'd you flute to the wrong place? Why'd you flute to the wrong place? Yeah. There was a lot of that this seed by me. Oops.
Yeah, I did love mirror bonking, and still got a lot of bad habits I need to clean out.
Yeah, I do as well. But that'll come with time and practice and experience.
I think on that note, we can say safely that we can wrap this up, I think.
Yeah.
And good luck to both of you in your next races
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
in the next weeks or so. And
Good
I'll
luck
say,
to you
Lucien,
in your next race.
Thank you. I need it. Lucien, absolutely look forward to coming with you again sometime. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, had a great time.
Thanks to Bread for the restream and Tom for tracking. And of course, we've had it was JohnSnuu mentoring Andrew, and we had Orange mentoring TC. That was all of us. Give everybody a follow. It's been a lot of fun. And last word there, Lucien?
Yeah, on top of that, just make sure to follow the Go Mode Podcast Twitch channel where we're currently at right now. Join their Discord channel if you haven't yet. Check out the podcast. A lot of good information. If you're a new player, veteran player, plenty to glean from that podcast.
And just real quick, thank you to you two for doing comms. Thank you to Bread for doing the restream, and Tom for tracking. We super appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for helping putting all this together. And thank you for this, I guess the whole tournament as a whole. I think for giving us all time to sort of learn together as mentors and mentees.
Yeah, definitely.
It's definitely been a fun experience, and I look forward to what we have to come. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll say goodnight for me, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, y'all have a good night.
All right, take care.
Good night.